Basically, I mean, I'm a geophysicist. My technical background is seismic data processing, but really any sort of data processing is fair. You know, if you do data processing, you're fairly flexible. You can do seismic, so you can do acoustic processing for looking at oceans. You can look at processing satellite data. So I was working on radar systems actually, and we were doing a contract for the Japanese Space Agency looking at how radar systems could be used for applications, and somebody from the European Space Agency saw what I was doing and asked me to go and work there. It's quite stimulating in that, you know, you never get up in the morning and think, oh, I'm going to go to work. You know, you always get up in the morning and think, great, you know, what's going to happen today? Because a lot of the projects we get involved with, you know, you can be working with police forces, coast guards in the morning, and then you're working with complete lunatics that want to do something that you're really not sure if it contravenes the laws of physics or not in the afternoon. And you know, every day
it's different.
Is like that. You know, I mean, we do have to sit in some boring meetings and stuff, but you know, I mean, there's just so much stuff going on, and because this type of information is really addressing a lot of the challenges that society is facing over the next decades, you know, things like food security, the impact of climate change, also things like, I work a lot with the International Development Bank, so the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, so looking at how can we support developing countries become economically stronger, how can they manage their resources better, so how can, for example, if you've got a lot of timber, how can that be properly managed, how can their fish be properly managed, how can transport infrastructure be properly planned in these countries. So again, you know, we're working in a lot of areas that are increasingly important. I think what's cool is you know, you see things happening on the news and you're involved in them. You know, we're monitoring a whole bunch of things that often surprisingly they make it onto the news, and you know, you find things that you've been doing really started to make a difference in these sorts of developments. So, like say in climate change or in international development, you know, we're you know, really helping countries help themselves. I think the main skill is having a sort of flexibility, because although you may start a project and you think, right, we want to be able to do something, we want to make a machine that goes ping, for example, the actual application after you've tried things out might not be to have a machine that goes ping. The actual application might be taking the thing that generates the pings and doing something completely different with it. And you have to, in these sorts of projects, you have to have the flexibility to say, okay, you know, this is where we want to go, this is where we've got to, this bit is what people really want, but they want to be able to do something else with it completely. So just having the flexibility and the adaptability to see, you know, where do you really have to take these things to get the best benefit. At school in Edinburgh, then did a first degree in physics at Edinburgh, and then did I didn't really know what I wanted to do after that, because I mean, you know, that was the 1980s, and if you didn't know what you wanted to do traditionally at that point, you'd go off and work for an accounting company. I thought that was a bit boring. So Cambridge used to run a one-year course. I think they still do. It was applied mathematics, but you know, really connected to the different sectors. So I did that and ended up doing a PhD in geophysics and seismic data processing. Started a project basically using satellites to detect oil pollution from ships in European waters. And you know, we knew it was possible, so we were just setting up, making sure we could do it on a regular basis in a way that fitted in with how the Coast Guards do airborne surveillance. And just, you know, 7 years later, after starting that project, being able to transfer that as a fully operational capability to the European Maritime Safety Agency, that was, you know, we had a nice workshop at the start of them taking over. It's now a fully operational capability for all European waters. You need to be flexible as to, I mean, how you get in, because I mean, even, you know, You might get hired to do one thing and you end up doing something completely different. I don't think there's any jobs in ESA that are boring or unrewarding. Just decide. If that's what you want to do. I mean, in terms of technical elements, make sure you've got an appropriate basic technical capability. But think about, it's going back to what I was saying before, think about what can you really do, not what your subject says. I mean, what can you really do? Because you can do an awful lot more things than just what your subject says, so you've got a lot of options in there.